Welcome back. And we got 5 days till Christmas, guys. Better hook it up. Okay, I'm going to teach you guys how to get a bikini body with the right vegetables. And anytime I meet someone or I talk to someone or I see someone on social media talking about how to boost the metabolism or get lean or get a lean bikini body or ripped, they're never using vegetables correctly. All right. Now I'm going to make my next two meals today. I've already had meal number one at 5:30 a.m. I ate it. You can see the previous video on what I ate. And I'm going to make meal number two, which is going to be a special metabolism boosting salad. And then I'm going to make meal three, which I'm going to eat at approximately, I don't know, 12, 15, 12:30 maybe. So let me make my second meal today. And once again, it's about 7 a.m. I'm going to eat this meal at probably 9:45 a.m. I like to wake up really early and front load my calories, get all my calories in me. So let me go on ahead and get my salad bowl here. Now let me tell you how you want to make a salad. For you guys out there that you might be a bikini competitor, figure competitor, physique competitor, or maybe you just want to get really lean, or maybe you just want to boost your metabolism. Let me show you how to do this correctly and effectively. So the first thing we're going with baby kale mix. Let's go with baby kale mix right here. So the very first thing you want is you want to have a high volume, cruciferous, leafy, green vegetable meal. All right. The key is being high volume. You want it to take up a lot of space. All right. And when you have a high volume salad or any meal, we want to apply or leverage the principle of volumetrics. I'll explain that more in a minute. So I've got some charred baby kale and spinach in here. Now we want a high volume because in order to utilize the principle of volumetrics, what we want to do is we want to take up a lot of space, in other words, high volume, with a very healthy, micronutrient rich, but low calorie food. Perfect. Kale, chard, and spinach. Got it. Okay, now the next thing we want to do, and this is going to take a few minutes. I got several very important ingredients. I want to also use thermogenic foods. What are thermogenic foods? Thermogenic foods are basically foods that can aid in a synergistic boost of the metabolism. A little bit, 1 to 2%, okay? Not a whole lot, but they can make a little slight difference. I like pico de gallo. Pico de gallo, we got cilantro, white onion, lemon juice, lime juice, jalapeno, and tomato. If you like pico de gallo, type in PDG, okay? This is very good. I'm going to use about a fourth of this, maybe a little bit more. Very delicious. I'm going to put some in. Very good. Now what I want to do is I want some more thermogenic foods. I'm going to go with some red onion. And I'm just going to get a little pinch right here. And I'm going to grab my scissors and dice this up. Let me find my scissors. And I'm going to actually dice this up real quick. And this is not very spicy or strong rather. It's kind of sweet flavored, but I enjoyed it. It adds a good flavor. So let me dice this up. So we want to still add our thermogenic foods. Let me grab a little bit more. Let me grab a little bit more here. Very good, very good. I'm going to get all this diced up. And every ingredient I add in here plays a role. It serves a purpose. Let me tell you a problem that a lot of bikini competitors or people that want a bikini body, or if you're a guy watching this and you want a lean, fit physique, the problem that a lot of people do when they have veggies, they have a cup of green beans, a cup of broccoli, some asparagus, and all that's great. I got no problem with that. But if you want to give yourself that extra boost, and you want to really leverage and boost your metabolism, you got to add all these components. And when you do all this, you do four things, which I'm going to cover in just a minute. There's four things you have to do before you can. There's four things every meal must do before it can boost your metabolism. And I'm going to tell you that in a minute as we go. Now I'm going to add. Let me move these out of the way. I'm going to add some mushrooms. Let me tell you why mushrooms are important. Mushrooms, number one, are extremely healthy. You need to be eating white vegetables. In fact, mushrooms and white vegetables in general have cancer prevention qualities. I'm going to go ahead and eat all four of these mushrooms. Also, a lot of men, and women too, but especially men, believe it or not, that struggle with obesity or yo-yo dieting, meaning they lose 15 pounds, gain 20 back, they tend to be predisposed to higher estrogen levels. All right, and estrogen is the female sex hormone. So mushrooms can aid in balancing out the hormone levels or estrogen levels. Let me rinse these off real quick. So I'm going to rinse it off. I'm going to dry this off. I like to get them really clean. I'm going to trim the stem off. So if you're someone that's chronically obese or really struggles with being overweight, add in some mushrooms, and I'm going to show you a good substitution if you don't like mushrooms in just a minute here. So I'm going to wipe this off. A lot of girls I see on Instagram, especially, and they're usually younger girls, and younger women can get away with this, and they'll have pretty lean figures. They'll have, really good physiques, and when I say good, I mean relative to their experience level, and they'll be reasonably lean, and they can stay lean. They eat constant junk food meals. They call them cheat meals, right? And they get in this habitual, chronic rut of like every fourth or fifth meal is a cheat meal. And by cheat meal, I don't mean like a graham cracker or something. I mean like a gut buster pizza. And they end up developing really bad eating disorders. And that's a whole different topic. But my point is the reason they're craving all that trash junk food is because their diets are woefully lacking. They don't know how to manage their leptin levels. They don't know how to manage their hormones. They don't know how to manage their hunger levels and their blood sugar. And when you eat like this, when you eat meals like this, it handles all those areas, all those categories. All right, I've diced up my mushrooms. Now what I'm going to do is I got some zucchini left here. I'm going to get a couple little slices of zucchini real quick. I'm just going to get a few more little slices here. That's good. That's plenty. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use probably the most powerful vegetable that I have. Celery. Let me tell you why celery is so important. So let me go ahead and I'm going to break off probably 2 pieces of this celery, 2 celery stalks. Now let me tell you what celery does. Celery is actually a negative calorie food. Now before I go any further, I'm going to scrape off some of the skin or whatever you call it off the celery, and I'm going to rinse it off. So let me step over to the sink very briefly. I'm going to rinse this off and scrape off some of the celery stuff. Okay, so let me tell you why celery is an excellent component to add to your vegetables. Celery is a negative calorie food, and what I mean by that is that it takes more calories, it burns more energy to digest celery than celery contains. Does that make sense? It's full of so much roughage and fiber, and it's very cruciferous, and I'm going to dice it up here. And celery is kind of like a Brillo pad for your bowels, if that makes sense. It just cleans you out, and it takes a lot of energy and burns a lot of calories to digest it because it's so fibrous. But I'm going to go ahead and dice it up. So you see a lot of these bikini competitors that are binge eating or chronic habitual dieters, whether they're competitors or not, and they always have cravings. They have no satiety. They have a cup of green beans and tilapia, or chicken breast and broccoli, or rice and, I don't know, asparagus, whatever, and they're always starving. They always have cravings, and that's because their meals aren't designed correctly. They have no idea how to design their meals correctly. So there's 4 things that every meal must do before it can boost your metabolism. Or number 1, it's got to reduce hunger. Hunger is regulated by your blood sugar levels. So when your blood sugar drops, your hunger goes up. All right, bad things happen when blood sugar drops. We never want your blood sugar to drop, and that's why fasting is so bad. Intermittent fasting is a travesty because when you don't eat for long bouts of time, your blood sugar plummets, and when that happens, bad things happen. So let me go ahead and I'm going to add in the next thing here. You always want to your meals have to crush cravings, will reduce hunger. Secondly, crush cravings. Cravings are regulated by a deficiency in micronutrients or macronutrients, and that's where the avocado comes in. Oftentimes, people that have cravings, it's because they're not eating enough healthy fats. Fats are satisfiers. Fats crush cravings. Fats promote satiety. We want rich, healthy fats. Well, what about dressing? The avocado serves as the dressing. And now you could use macadamia nut oil, olive oil, or avocado oil. That wouldn't be a bad thing, but I like the real thing here. Okay, now I talked about a possible substitute if you didn't want the mushrooms. Well, ground flaxseed, and you can use this in addition to the mushrooms. This doesn't have to be only a substitute. But ground flaxseed contains lignans, which are plant phytochemicals, which can actually aid in lowering estrogen levels as well. So I'm going to put these up here. All right, I'm going to dice all this up. Now, the reason I dice up my salad is it's just easier to eat. That's the only reason why. So I'm going to recap everything I put in here in just a minute. Now, what about the protein? I'm going to show you. Okay, I actually ate, I'm about to eat, but I actually cooked some grass-fed organic beef yesterday, and I'm going to put that in. It's very tender. It's going to be delicious. This is grass-fed organic beef. I got it at Whole Foods. I'm going to break it apart and put it in. Add some chicken. So, number one, you want your meals your salad's got to, or every meal, but in this case, the salad, it's got to crush cravings, reduce hunger. If you have hunger or cravings, you will never sustain in the diet game. You'll never sustain. You'll crash and burn, you'll fall off the bandwagon, and you'll rebound diet. You'll gain it all back. Third thing your every meal should do before it can boost your metabolism is you've got to promote satiety. The way I define satiety is your body's or your meal's ability to sustain between meals. All right? And fourthly, the fourth thing your every meal should do is every meal should increase energy. If you can't avoid your afternoon siesta without a cup of coffee, if you can't make it to the gym without an energy drink, if you can't get out of bed and make it into your job without Starbucks, you got a problem. That indicates to me your diet is trash. Now, you don't like to hear that because there's a lot of coffee addicts on here that are saying, no, 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 you're wrong, you're wrong. Well, the fact of the matter is if I'm not wrong or if I am wrong, then why can't you do it? I mean, most people can't even step in the gym without a Red Bull or a Monster energy drink or some trash like that. Now, what if you're vegan? If you're vegan, don't add the meat. Instead, add kidney beans. What a novel idea. Now, I'm going to lift weights shortly after I eat this. So because of that, I am going to add some kidney beans to this just for more calories and a little bit more carbs. But normally I would not. But I am because I will lift weights a little bit earlier today, and I would just want more calories in me. So every meal before you can boost your metabolism, your salad meal, right? Your salad meal should be high volume. Utilize the principle of volumetrics. Number one, with a very not just iceberg lettuce. I don't have any gripe with lettuce, but lettuce doesn't contain many nutrients. This baby kale mix does. Look at all that charred baby kale spinach, much more nutritious. Number two, high volume. Number two is a micronutrient dense, which I just listed the ingredients. Thirdly, you want thermogenic foods, zucchini, green onion, white onion, a little bit of tomato, jalapeno, red onion. What am I missing out? Celery. All right, and that's what you want to add to it. And then you want to add in your healthy fats: avocado, ground flaxseed, And in this case, I have fats in the protein source, which is the organic beef, and added kidney beans. Kidney beans have fiber, um, protein, and also slow burning complex carbs. So this is an awesome, powerful meal. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a top on it, and I'm going to eat this in approximately about 2.5 hours. Let me go on ahead and show you guys what I'm going to have after I lift weights today. So I'm just going to keep going right here. So after I lift weights, you always want to have white rice instead of brown rice. Never have brown rice over white rice. And if you want to know why, type in why below and I'll tell you. Also, the vegetable that I'm going to add to this is white potato. White potato is probably if your goal is fat loss, weight loss, you better be eating white potatoes. We'll say, well, what about sweet potatoes? Sweet potatoes are fine, but white potatoes are probably better for weight loss and fat loss. Let me tell you why that's the case. Number one, they're the most popular vegetable in America, and they aid in fat loss mostly because they rank, of all the foods in the world, white potatoes rank number one on the satiety index. What is the satiety index? The satiety index uh, grades or rates or gauges foods based on their ability to promote satiety or keep you full or satisfied longer. That's all it means. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some chili beans, which are really kidney beans and spicy chili sauce. I really love kidney beans. So I'm going to add these in here. And this is what I'm going to eat post-workout. White potatoes also are an excellent source of vitamin C, B6, fiber, manganese. They have more potassium than a banana, and your average sized white potato is about 110 calories. All right, so it's not very calorically dense. It keeps you satisfied for a long time. It's got slow burning, rich carbohydrates, and it is packed full of nutrients. My friends, that's a phenomenal fat loss, dieting, weight loss food. So let me go ahead and I'm going to add in to this meal here. I'm going to go ahead and add in some chicken breast. I'll add in a little bit more. I don't eat a bunch of protein in my post-workout meal just because I have so many carbs. And there is protein in the kidney beans, so I don't need a ton of meat post-workout. I don't think I need it. That's good right there. All right, guys. Hope this has helped. And by the way, today I will be training upper body. I'll be doing upper body, the whole upper body. All right, guys. Have a great day. And remember, don't ever let one bad meal beat you twice. WetWolfTraining.com. Wet Wolf Nutrition. Signing out.